What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so this is something that I saw this morning, and a lot of you guys know that I love movies. I love maybe not so much a lot of the illicit things that go on behind the scenes in Hollywood, but one of the things that I do love is the the fruit of the music industry, and that is the movies for the most part that they put out. Some of them have been classics. Some of them have stunk. Some of them have a reputation for being bad, but sometimes I don't agree with the prevailing thoughts on some of these movies. But anyway, Beetlejuice 3 reportedly is in production. Um, or it's in the works, I should say. They may not, I don't think they're actually filming it as of right now, but for all intents and purposes, Beetlejuice 3 has been greenlighted by Warner Brothers. Of course, Beetlejuice, the original movie, came out in 1988 and was a smash hit. And not only was it a smash hit, it was so successful that the Beetlejuice character and Another World and all that, it entered into the culture, the fabric of American culture, to the point where there was a cartoon, a very successful cartoon that premiered on Fox and I think later ABC, I think it was aired on. Um, there ultimately was a theater play on Beetlejuice. I remember Beetlejuice was a featured player. I don't know if it's still that way, but Beetlejuice became a featured character in different kids related uh, theme parks and things of that nature. People wore Beetlejuice mask. He was a phenomenon. So look, after 36 years, the sequel came out last year. I think it was September, and the movie was very, very successful. The movie made something around $450 million versus a $100 million budget, and of course, Michael Keaton got rave reviews for his performance for the most part. And while most people would say they didn't think that it was as good as the first movie, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the sequel had moments. I like that they gave Beetlejuice a backstory. Um, and in some ways, I feel like some of the characters, some of the actors, excuse me, just stepped right back into those roles and were right at home, even though they were away from that role for more than 3 decades. Now, this is the thing: Michael Keaton, who of course plays Beetlejuice, has stated that he is totally down for a sequel. He loves the Beetlejuice role. Matter of fact, he says that the Beetlejuice role is his favorite of all of his projects and all the roles that he's been a part of. The problem would be a little bit with this situation is Tim Burton. Tim Burton, from what I've read, is not as enthusiastic about appearing in a third, making this a trilogy, I should say. Uh, from what I from what I've read about Tim Burton, I don't think that he's a big fan of sequels uh, from the get go. So I would think that Tim Burton ultimately will be swayed. Um, Maybe if money and even more artistic control, maybe by even the challenge of making a film that's even better than the sequel, whatever the case may be. Um, Now, of course, the sequel brought in some newer actors. Jenny Ortega played Lydia Dietz's daughter. Of course, Lydia Dietz portrayed by Winona Ryder, who, of course, was a what's what I want to say, teen teen Well, that sounds kind of creepy. I was going to say teen sex symbol, but out of context, it's going to sound creepy if I say that. But people forget I was a teenager back then. But she was a sex symbol in the late '80s, early '90s. Now, of course, she's like 53 or something. But you know, I don't know, man. I would be down for a third movie. Now, of course, in the second movie, Frank Dietz was really not portrayed. I mean, he was more or less just um, a half a body with no head walking around. He was half eaten by a shark, and the actor that portrayed, I think it was Frank Dietz, right? Oh, what was this? What's the father's name in the first movie? Was it Frank? Was it? I forgot the name. But anyway, the actor that played the father, um, Jeffrey Jones, essentially is retired because he's been blackballed from Hollywood because of the situation he was involved in with the kid and taking photos. That whole disgusting bit that occurred in the early 2000s. I think it was early to mid 2000s. So Jeffrey Jones is very much still alive, but he hasn't really been part of any project in Hollywood since then. Catherine O'Hara's character, whose name eludes me, um, her character died. I think she was bitten by poisonous snakes in some ritual or something. So it'd be interesting to see how they would communicate with Lydia. And one of the things that I thought would be a great send off to this series, honestly, would be for Lydia to die and hook up with Beetlejuice in the afterlife. I don't know. It's just one thing that always bothered me about the Beetlejuice movies a little bit. Beetlejuice is portrayed as the victim, right? I mean, excuse me, as the villain, right? In these movies. Although I think in the second movie he's portrayed more as like a chaotic anti-hero type character. Um, but one thing that always bothered me is in the end when the humans, the living, make these deals with Beetlejuice, right? Beetlejuice always lives up to his side of the bargain. It's the living humans that screw Beetlejuice up in the end. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't want to go into to detail about, oh, well, are you condoning what Beetlejuice tried to do, marry a child? I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about in these movies, Beetlejuice gets screwed whenever he makes an arrangement to help the humans. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, kind of rambling right now with this particular video. But tell me what you guys think. Do you guys look forward to a Beetlejuice 3? I mean, look, you don't want a movie that's just essentially made to make money because you kind of can sniff that a little bit. And I know that would be what, Tim Burton would be a little hesitant about, but give the project some time, write a script, a good script, and get the right actors and the right pieces together and take your time. You don't have to rush out and make a carbon copy of what you think will be a hit, because that was the problem in the 90s, man. You had so many like sequels coming out from a movie that was great and them not understanding what made the first movie great. They just rush out with a script for the sequel that's almost essentially the same as the first movie. No heart in the movie. No, the movie doesn't have the same magic, and it sucks and whatever. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.